Before we begin with this amazing episode, I have something to announce. If you are a creator yourself, like an artist, a voice actor, or you are an editor slash, well, not really an editor in terms of videos, more like a writing editor, or if you are a programmer that deals with server side, guess what? I am actually looking for you. I am currently, at this very moment in time, looking for other people to work for me in terms of helping me make things work out. Yes, this is not free, so that means that you guys will be paid accordingly based off of your current prices that you, well, offer to me. However, these prices are and have to be realistic and must tend to not be too expensive, as I am not a rich asshole, so that's kind of words. But essentially, all I'm just trying to say is if you are currently looking for a person to work for, well, I am looking for you if you are any of the above, the ones that I have suggested. And don't worry, because I do have other various kinds of information. You can go ahead and check that on the John.Enterprise's website. That is Jon'tEnterprise. On that website, you can find all of the kinds of information about me or the current recruitment that you are looking for. Currently, right now, I do not have a Google Docs, so you will have to DM me on Twitter. But just go onto that website if you are currently interested and want to know what kind of jobs I am looking for. And yeah, I will be waiting for you to come to me if you are interested. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to John's Talk Show. I am obviously not your host. I mean, I don't know where you got that idea. I mean, where the hell have you been for the last 16 episodes? Anyway, welcome to a new episode of John's Talk Show. As obvious, this is episode number 16 or 17. I forgot because I am lazy. This is
It's 16.
16. Yeah, is it?
No, wait, it's 17. I don't
Well,
even know
wait.
myself.
I don't remember either. YouTube help. I know the episode's out now. I didn't even update the website yet. Oh, it's 16. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. It doesn't matter either way. This is about school, or as the title suggests, too cool for school. Doesn't really matter either way because it's about school. I luckily I'm not a college person as we speak, but in high school I've been pretty well. So
You
you
did
do have
you
some
did pretty well in high
questions
school.
for me, and I don't know about me because I don't know, my life's been pretty boring, but we'll see.
Um, I'm pretty sure we can get some interesting answers and everything out. And yes, I sit down and write a little, like a few questions or so that just come to mind. Um,
I like how you
but
take this seriously to actually writing the questions down.
it's just like sitting down like 10 minutes before and just writing stuff down. So just have a few questions to go back to. Um, but before I get to any of the questions, I guess we can start a little bit like general of like how do you feel about school? Like, do you have it in a good memory or a bad memory?
I've had bad memories and I do have good ones. Uh, I mean, overall, it depends which years we're talking about. Um, anything before eighth grade, I would say, been pretty much me not caring. So I would obviously have bad grades, or sometimes I would get in trouble. I'm not really like a troublemaker. Sometimes I would just be blended into some problems that other people do, and I would just
Mhm.
be blended in because I don't know, teachers. I don't know. I was a kid, and then if you talk about eight and up, that's when my life actually changed. My how I thought of school changed.
Oh.
I changed how I thought about it, and I started to take it seriously because I realized like, oh shit, I am like 1 year away until I have to transfer to a high school, and I've heard that high school is where you actually have to take your time. You have to actually have good grades, or else that's gonna affect you.
Hmm. That's interesting you mentioned that because for me, I feel like it's been kind of the opposite. I was kind of conditioned by my parents to be like, like be good at school. It's gonna be important for the future, and also, you wanna make your parents happy and yourself by getting good grades. And then initially, for like the up to like I feel like the sixth or seventh grade, it went all right. It was like average, right? Except for English, but we'll get to that later. It was average, um, but then stuff just got harder and harder, especially math, and just it got draining on my motivation. And my grades started dropping a little bit, but I was still hopeful and was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna take the series. And then later on, I participated in like a apprenticeship that was purely school, so it was school specialized for a job that I was uh, being trained in. And that's where it kind of hit me, like that this, I guess, apathy. I was just like, fuck it, I don't really care. I've been sitting on this like chair for like, 10 plus years. School is like really annoying. I just want to get a job. I just want to get paid and get a job. I really can't do this anymore.
When it comes to fifth grade and sixth grade for me, or I don't know if it was sixth or seventh. Actually, yeah, fifth, sixth, and seventh grade were like the worst years, I would definitely say, and the lowest points for me. Because fifth grade was the time in which it was basically almost. It's basically, I was very close to having to restart fifth grade. Luckily, I was given the ability to skip it towards sixth grade, which didn't, I don't think, really changed much for me. Obviously, like I didn't really care, but sixth grade was the time in
Mm.
which I had to restart because that was like the end of it. Like I didn't have another chance, so I had to restart sixth grade. My class that I was part of for years moved up to seventh, and then seventh grade came along. That was
Um,
pretty okay. I Not really a huge change, but and then eighth grade was interesting, I would say, because it was like the smallest class in all of the school. um, and that was freaking weird because eighth grade was a troublemaking class, and I was not a troublemaker. And do I have some stories about that? I would like to talk about.
oh boy, yeah.
Um,
I was about to say that's probably good stuff to talk about.
and that was actually during the time when I met my very first person I liked, which was a grade below me. But it doesn't really matter because we're teenagers, so it doesn't. Whatever. I mean, why
Mhm.
why would the fuck would I like a kid in my own class when all of them are stupid and horrible? Actually, it was even so small that they actually had to combine the seventh and the eighth grade classes together. That's how small. I think it was only
Huh.
10 kids in all of eighth grade.
We were crowded all the time. Um, like we were, I think, 23 or so, and like all along all the years. Sure, some people left, some joined. And during my apprenticeship, I think we were like 24 or so. But the thing is, there was a huge gap in terms of like the sex of people that are there, because there was like 20 girls and like four guys, including me. So that was bound to make for some interesting interactions between people. But I feel like the boys that were there, like our bond was kind of strengthened. We were like the small group. We were the boys, just doing some stupid, goofy stuff sometimes. Sometimes anyway, not always, but sometimes.
For some reason, I just
Um,
remembered something very weird. Um, when I was in fifth grade, the teachers took down a wall between the class we were in and another class. And so you were
uh,
able to look
okay.
to the other classroom with all the other students.
Like, was there glass?
No, you can
Now,
literally walk into the other classroom.
okay.
I don't know why
Oh
they did
no.
it. They just did it, and I just remembered it.
Uh, we were thinking about goofy stories. I should I start with one? I just had
Go
one
ahead.
that was so not sure when this was, probably like eighth or ninth. By the way, we should keep in mind I'm from Germany, so the class systems might vary, probably are or do.
They're different,
So
like
just
in
keep that
every
in mind.
country. Every country is different.
Yeah, just just like keep that in mind. So ninth class over here, which is basically like almost the end, or is the end, depending on what you do next. Um, there was it was math class, and there was separated. Like math class was separated between the regular students in quotations and the um. I'm not sure what to translate it to. I guess it maybe something like the integrated, or what I mean by integrative kids is kids that kind of need a little bit of a holding hand, or they get like um
Special ed.
a class. Yeah, or they get like a class that is a little bit easier in quotations. And so every time math class would start, a small group of kids would join another teacher, and they go to a separate room and have math class there.
Huh.
Um, and my next to me sat a girl, and she forgot her purse where like the pencils were in and all that. Um, I decided I wanted to, give it back, like give her that. But she just like exited the door, and the door was, I think, even shut. And so I wasn't sure if she heard me like say, "Hey, you forgot your purse." And is it called purse?
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah,
depend.
just
I
where
don't
you
know
have
if
like
I
all
don't
all
know if
your all your
young
pencils and
girls.
everything.
I don't know if young girls wear purses. I don't know. I don't know if they do that.
Like the thing where you put your erasers and pencils in.
Being a case or a
Okay, yeah,
backpack.
yeah. No, no, I think the case is it. Like a small
Are you
little
talking
case where
about
you
like a
put your shit in.
plastic case thingy where you? It's like a.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
I think I
Just
know
like
because
you
I
have,
have one in my room right now.
yeah, so cases. Yeah, just to like clarify. Okay, so it wasn't like a purse with, because I
Pencil
just remember
box.
that sounds like, or pencil box, pencil case, pencil case box.
Two
She
words
forgot
that
the
mean the same thing.
she forgot the case, and I
I
like
forgot the
yelled it
case.
after
What?
them. She forgot the case. I yelled after her like, "Hey, you forgot your case!" And she didn't hear it. So I stood up, and I, for some reason, started running. Like my life depended on it. So I was like really fast, and that meant I'd have to act quick on how I opened the door. So in my mind, I was like, okay, so I have to take a right turn, and then run a little bit further straight, and then there's a door. And in my mind, I was already planning it like how on what second I'm gonna like prepare myself to push down the lever to like open the door. That all didn't happen. I just apparently ran against the door like a fucking idiot and just smashed my face against it. And like next thing I remember is the whole class is laughing. And I'm not sitting here like, oh, I didn't like that because I was scared or anything. I kind of laughed about it too. I was like, okay, yeah, that was kind of stupid. I could have just like calmly walked up to them or up to the door, but decided to just like heroically, absolutely just face first into the door. Um, Even the teacher and the teacher was like, that was like straight out of a cartoon. Just apparently just like flattened against the door. Me just flattened against the door, and moral of that story, take your fucking time.
Okay. Were you actually? Did you actually just like carry the purse with you, or did you just leave it in the seat, but you just want to go get her attention? Like, what was?
I got the purse like in my hand
Oh,
because so that I could give it to her. I we did afterwards find like a small little like crack in one of the in the door, and I was with a buddy that time when we noticed it, and I was like, oh, nice. I just embedded myself in this door. It's a really small crack, but technically is a thing now because of me.
why did that girl leave anyway? Was she going to the bathroom?
Because she was no, it's because she was part of that small group of people that had like that separate math class that was talking about the
Oh.
integrative or special ed kids
Did they come
that
back to that class? Like, why did they go to that one if they're already going to the other one?
because
Or is it like one of those things where that class only starts at like during that class sometime? Because I know that happened to special ed. Like every week at a certain time, we would have to be pulled out of the class to go to that other one. So
so like I said earlier, kind of like there was whenever math class started, a majority of the kids would stay in the same room, but some like the special ed kids would together like join another teacher and go into a separate room because they don't learn the same material as us or maybe not as intensely, and so it would be confusing to have like these two different math classes in the same room.
wait, so you guys don't do classroom switches, which is what we do here, at least in my other school, or both of my schools. We basically like whenever we got to go to the next class, we would have to switch to another classroom. Do you guys just like stay in your
Oh,
class like
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time?
We just stay in your class, and the teachers come to us.
Oh, so the teachers switch
That
out, not the students.
well, in this case, there was a small group of students that did leave because there was within this math class there was two different types of math class, the regular ones that I and the others participated in, and another one that was uh, target like aimed to help the special ed ones. It was a little bit easier, if you will, and they leave to go into their own room. We, like the majority, kept in the main classroom where there was our math class, and the special ed kids had their separate math class in a separate room. Is it that weird?
So you guys stay in your homeroom basically, like the ones that stay. So what I mean like is like let's just say we're in classroom 104, and unlike in American schools, at least some of like most of them, we would obviously switch around to different
Mhm.
classrooms where the teacher basically does their own special assignment or special education. And at the end of the day, we would have to go back to the homeroom, which I don't know. Sometimes it's different material, sometimes it's other stuff. Like, at the beginning of the day, we had to do math. End of the day, we would do science or something like that, like something specific towards like what the teacher teaches. Um, but since in this other German school, like we're staying in homeroom 104, but we instead of us switching to other class, the whole day where all the students are in there, unless they're in that very specific group where you have to leave. I'm assuming that same class stays in that room until the end of the day. You're basically in there 8 hours a day. I'm assuming that's
Yeah,
what you mean for those like actual people that stay, unless you're in a specific group like special ed or.
yeah. Which was yeah, which the regular kids. I hate saying this, but the kids,
There's no such thing
the
as
regular
regular.
kids. Yeah, yeah. Which is why I hate saying regular kids and special ads and
Just
saying
say
I have it
like,
easier.
just say like the non-special.
No,
No, actually no. That's fucking odd.
no. The thing is, in back in my school, they actually called it regular too. Like you were a regular kid, not in the sense that something is
What?
wrong with the others. It's just you were you took part in the regular classes.
You're regular.
Well,
You're normal. You're a normal kid. These guys are fucking weird. Stupid. There we go.
special eds, like as example, our room is 104. Special eds, when there's math class, they go to 105 and have their math class, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, there is exceptions with like uh, chemical classes. That's the only exception where we do have to like actually go up to the teacher because you're gonna have to be in a room that's like has all the safety features for like the chemical stuff being in there.
Hmm.
That's how it works over here. The more we know.
Your Europeans make me very odd about how the system works. I wonder if that's the same thing with the UK, because I know that those guys also have weird classes too. How they set it up,
Classes are weird.
especially how they score things as well on tests and stuff. Like they have like a different
Oh
test
yeah.
system.
Wait, you guys score with letters, right?
Um, it's points, but grades more or less kind of just show you like where you are in terms of the the line in which between 0 and 100 letters to show you, because it's like
Yeah, yeah.
0 to 60 is an F. Oh no, not that. No, it's 0 to 59 is an F. 60 to 69 is, which by the way is a good number, is a D. And obviously you would have sub kind of parts as well. Like you would have an F. I don't know if F plus exists, but that's like right on like the edge of like
Yeah, that
56 or 57 or something to 59.
mhm.
It's weird, but it kind of just helps, in a little more simpler way to know like where you are in terms of grades without knowing like the numbers.
Mhm.
I know for me, I when it comes to high school, I was always in the A category. So
Yeah, okay. I was just in like the average category. I wonder, like, do
they
these
skip an
letters
E
like
though.
stand for? Oh,
There's no E,
do the,
which sometimes the students like to joke about it as being above the A. Like if you like
oh,
would always be like, guys, I just got an E. I have 110, which means it's an E. Which I did get that sometimes to the teacher too from in high school, which was always interesting to get. It was always fascinating.
so did they? stand for something? Like, were they
No,
shortcuts for words? No.
no.
Okay.
That I mean, unless you want to talk about like I would say B is brilliance and A is absolutely or absolute.
No.
I think something like
F
that.
is
And
probably like,
F is failure.
failed. Yeah. It's not like failed, like you are a failure, like classic
D means dumb.
thing. Interesting, because over here,
Let's
we
see.
use numbers 1 to 6, and 6 is
Oh.
the equivalent of F, and 1 is the equivalent of A. So
Oh. Okay.
getting a 1 is really good, and while getting a 6 is really bad. Um,
Hmm.
so during like the earlier years of high school and everything, I'd get like a lot of like
That just
threes and
remind.
twos.
Oh my god! So my writing test, Accuplacer for college, which I tried to apply, we actually followed that exact same thing as well, 1 through 6, which was only for that test. I luckily got a
Huh.
5, which technically is the opposite way around on here. 1 is a fail, 6 was a good. I got a 5,
Yeah, yeah,
so I was freaking,
those are good.
which told me that I was actually a great writer, which is why I pursued it further.
Nice.
Which funny thing is the
Some
fact that the when I showed it to the person at the desk, they were like, they asked me like, "Hey, you looking for a job under like this kind of thing?" And I was like, "Nah, it's just a hobby." But they were fascinated with that, so that really showed me a lot about my writing,
nice. We got some more John lore.
which was which was actually during a time when I was trying to apply for like college classes like on the side, but I never really got into it um because of money, even though it
Yeah,
was supposed to be free. So I was like, wow, they this country sucks. They're always
was
lying.
about to say, yeah, this college is
They say
not
like, oh,
free
if as
there.
long as you're in high school, you can go to college and get some extra classes in community college for free. And I'll be like, oh my god, that's awesome. And then they let me try it, and then they said, oh, to pay for it, and I was like, I thought never mind. And we just walked out. And
Mm.
then later, my dad
Yeah.
blamed me for not going to college, even though I we literally fucking remember the same fucking thing.
Wait, did your dad go to college though?
No, he never went. No, in
Okay.
fact,
Yeah.
his education is very bad. If I let me just tell you, he failed 12th grade a lot before he was even able to graduate.
And
But
this person is
that's
telling you it's a shame that you missed out on college. Okay. Uh,
he said that one day when I was like frustrated because I was in the car, we were going home, and I genuinely has had enough. I didn't want to go to work anymore. I just wanted to pursue what I like, which was, what I want to do right now, writing or drawing or whatever. And he said, very a mark, that I didn't go to college. He should have went to college. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? You fucking idiot. Again, he's old. He's getting older, so obviously he's probably forgot that what we just fucking experienced. Even the fact that I was not really upset, I was kind of keeping myself up after the time when we realized that I wasn't going to be able to go there for free. So I was kind of like just thinking happy thoughts when I was going home. But deep inside, I
fair
was
enough.
very disappointed with absolutely everything.
Mm,
I've heard though that
yeah.
places like I think the UK offers like free education or something like that.
I
I don't
could
know if
tell you
that's true.
about Germany.
Germany, I
um,
know is not true. Probably, most likely not.
so basic education in terms of like up to high school is free, unless you go to like a private school, then yeah, you're gonna pay. But um, basic education is free. If you want to like start studying or go to college, it's not gonna be free anymore. But the state or the government is gonna partially take over I think like 50 or 70% of the cost of like the entirety. And do not quote me on this. This is I I like have heard and read that somewhere, but it might not be true. But this is what I heard and what I remember. Yeah, it's kind of partial. Like you kind of have to you do have to pay a little bit, so you have to get like some kind of side job, side hustle, whatever. But the state does help you by not having to pay like the entirety of it.
Based off Google, it says it's affordable. At the very least, it's affordable to
Yeah, fair
study.
enough.
But that's better than here. You have to pay like you're in a fucking
Oof.
debt of like $30,000, and I'm like, what the hell? It's not realistic.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I was like, wow, okay. Well, like if I was born in the U.S., I would not go to college, just
I wanted to
of the
because
fact because
I had no other choice, and I just wanted to impress my dad. But obviously,
which
I
we all want to, right? Want to impress our dads.
I mean, he's impressed as it is because I did better than what he did in high school and stuff. So, at the very least, it's good.
Yeah.
But not to me though.
I mean, gotta pat ourselves on the shoulder a little bit. You know, you tried your best and you got this far, and you're going after what
You got
your
this
heart is
far, which
telling you.
means you're a failure. No, fuck off.
That was certainly not the intent of what I was just saying.
That's what everyone has to deal with on a daily basis. You don't go to college? Well, fuck off. You failed. Screw off. Better luck in your next life.
No, I didn't go to college either, or the equivalent of college.
I was close.
Um, I yeah, I got into something that is like above average, like above average, like past high school, but it wasn't quite college yet either. And honestly, I think I kind of like it that way. If I had to like, if I knew I had to like study like 3 or 4 more years of shit, nah, man, I'm so done with school. I wanna get paid.
I've had enough of it as well when I was graduated from 12th grade. You have no idea how celebration I had. I was eating ice cream as soon as I finished my last class. I was up in the middle of the night and I just fucking came down some ice cream. Just fucking loved it. I felt free,
Hmm.
even though I didn't like it at the same time.
Yep.
Well, it's fine though, because
Yeah.
a lot of great people that are successful never went to college. So, yeah, fuck that.
Oh, really?
Why would I go to be fucking debt when I can be free of money, of debt free, and be
Yeah, fair enough.
successful as long as I work
Mhm.
hard? I mean, fuck. Like over here at Walmart, like you could be a coach and you get like bonuses, and I've heard that you get like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from bonuses. It's fucking
Hmm.
crazy.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking wild.
um,
That's just at Walmart
I
though.
was
Imagine everywhere
you
else.
saying that it's gonna be better? Oh no, it's just at Walmart.
No, no, I mean that's just at Walmart. Like I'm pretty sure there's other places that do much more than that
Oh, okay,
in
yeah,
terms of bonuses.
fair enough.
Like that's just the coach
Um,
position. I even talked about the fucking the man in charge of the store. That guy's scary. I don't want to talk about him.
mhm. No, it's no, better not. I another have some here. Here are some other questions I wrote down. Um, what were like classes you were good at?
Math. That's that. In high school, at least, math is up there.
Hmm.
I was so good that I did calculus 101 in high school. My teacher was willing to do that,
Shit.
and I did great actually. Actually, gave me a couple problems too to solve, and I did those fucking well as well. So I can tell you
Nice.
that I probably would have went to college, and math would have been great as long as I had it like a teacher that was able to teach me like the one I taught in there, because he made teaching easy when it comes to math.
Ooh, that ties in very well into the next question I have. However, I want to talk about my like the grades I was good in, which was English. um, I was just
English was up there for me, kind of. It wasn't like,
German wasn't for me.
oh, it would be for me. You know, if I was learning German, hell yeah, I'd be slamming that shit down.
Well, as a German and having like, obviously your equivalent of having learned English in the school, and for me is having learned German.
I like how that's the
It
opposite
was
for
okay.
us. I
Wait,
like how
what?
that's the opposite. Like as though you didn't do well, like because English was okay for me personally, but math was great. But you kind of have like the opposite there, and the same thing goes when it comes to the other thing as well. It's just like the opposite for us.
Yeah, you know what I it's interesting. That's really, really interesting you mentioned that because I've made this observation a lot, and it's just an observation from myself and like the classes I've been in. But I noticed this pattern too. Is like the kids that were really good at math, like sucked ass at language, but the kids like me that were good at like learning new languages, we were shit at math. Like, oh god, I and I wonder if that is like tied to some part of our brains and
It's
how
the
they
way how
develop.
what side of our brain that we're most comfortable with, which is very weird. How I'm good at math, depending on how it's taught, compared to English. Even though I'm an extremely creative person and I'm not very analytical, so it's very weird how my brain is.
I guess brains are just usually weird.
But it's more the fact that like the right brain is your analytical and then left was your creative, if I remember. So it's all
Okay.
tied back to that in terms of like how people function in society.
Yeah, that's really cool because I was
Once again, we're
I
going back
thought
to
as
the
a kid I was
brains. Just like in the last episode.
some episode is gonna be about like the brain and emotions. I think
Oh,
John, you still here?
my mic is pissing me off, dude. The wire that
Okay.
enables it. I make any kind of move when it comes to the wire, it just fucking shuts off, and I have to readjust it. It's
That's
pissing me
like
off.
the exact kind of problem I'm having with mine on
It's
my
so
PC,
loose
which is
because of
why I'm on
gravity.
Xbox.
It's because I move this thing around a lot. Because depending on where I am, I have to move it, and sometimes I have to move it out of the way so I can see better. Because I don't need my mic in front of my fucking eyes, you know. So I'm guessing it made the thing loose. So I can't do anything about it. I mean, I look like I have another wire
Hmm.
that's meant for my tablet, so I can connect that instead. But it does exactly the same thing.
Well, we're probably gonna have some episode is probably gonna have like brains and emotions in it because I'm
Yeah.
a little sucker for psychology, so we'll definitely probably have another episode about that.
Like I was going to say before I was cut off by the fucking mic. Um, brains are fucking weird, dude. And whenever an article comes up, I and that's has anything to do with the brain, I always have to read it because I'm just curious. Cause it's just so weird. Like the brain's a fucking computer, but it's also not because there's not electricity that's performing it. So it just shows you like computers can come in other forms that we just don't know yet. It could either come in like a living kind of organism, or it could be a computer that we use. But clearly, the
Yeah, like
brain's fucking
digitally.
more advanced than us than our computers. So
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like apparently we use like 20 or 30% consciously of like the potential of our brain, and subconsciously we just have like 70 or so percent chilling in the back.
why is this reminding me of the movie Lucy? That is all about the fact that we're using like 15% of our brain power, and the fact that if we use 100%, we're like beyond anything that exists.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about, and it kind of I have a story that ties back to like math classes, which ties back to which is school. Um, it was I think in like eighth or ninth class. So it was pretty advanced math, and it was so advanced in quotations that we were allowed to use calculators. So we were dealing with big numbers, and there was this one like task I was doing, and for some reason I remember I was kind of like zoning out. Like I'm not sure what happened, but I was just not conscious of what I was doing, but I was still kind of continuing the task for some reason. I was still like writing shit, but I was just kind of half present, like
I
not really there, but kind of. And
think I
then I
know
just
what you
know,
mean. I've
yeah,
experienced
kind of
that.
like zoning out. Mhm. And it was a pretty difficult task, and all of a sudden, like I kind of snapped back, and I finished the task, and I was like, wait, I finished this without using the calculator? Where the fuck do I have this calculator here? If I can just do it like when I'm not even paying attention to it, but when I am trying to pay attention to it and calculate it, it's like I'm fucking having like 10 frames per second. My fucking brain is lagging. It's like I think it's this and that, but when I'm not paying attention, my brain just absolutely aces it.
It's because your brain also deals with consciousness, and the fact that when your consciousness is active and aware of your surroundings, it basically has to remove other parts of your like processes of your brain to enable the ability to be consciousness, but you still have the function to calculate while you're like aware, but it's not using as much process power. But when you don't you're not aware as much and you're basically just zoning out, it's basically another way of disabling your that side of that part of the brain, and instead it's going to be enabling the rest of your part of your brain. So because it you don't want your because the brain has to do so much, so it doesn't want to, it can't have the ability to process everything and calculate as much as your consciousness is awake at the same time. Because I'm pretty sure your consciousness deals with a lot of shit as it is. It
Mm,
has to process reality, it has to process sounds and the ability to think, which I'm pretty sure thinking and it's kind of entangles along with your calculation side too. Like it just kind of all connects, but it can't do two
that
things at
actually,
once
yeah.
there. So it has to disable one side to allow the other to have enough control to deal with it.
That sounds so interesting, and I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, like this is just a good teaser to like an episode that we're definitely gonna have soon.
Probably, as long as I'm able to fucking, as long as I'm in it in the mood.
Well, yeah. Just whenever we get the chance, we're probably gonna talk about the brain some more.
It's actually bringing up a lot
Um,
of things I've read from articles that I've read about the mind and how it processes reality. So that's going to be interesting.
yeah, there's such a rabbit hole to get lost in. Today we are talking about school, and here's another question I wrote down. And you mentioned earlier how there was teachers you liked and that or teachers that helped you a lot understand, like good teachers that just helped you understand the material. I was gonna like ask like what are some teachers you disliked and why?
Ooh. Um, there is a couple that I remember. There was one, the one that I had in fifth grade, which also I found in later grades. She just kind of brought me out as just not a great teacher. Uh, in terms of making me interested of anything she teaches me, and also very strict. Uh,
Mm,
I feel like there has been times when she did um hit kids with a ruler when I was younger, but I don't remember. It's very foggy. I just know that a lot of kids didn't really see her as great in their eyes. There was another that was a computer teacher. Um, he dragged two kids towards the principal's office to the point where he actually harmed one of my friends, Tyler, which is the YouTube family. And that pissed me off a lot when I heard about that. And I was like, why isn't he fired? But it took until the second student was dragged to the office to make him fired, or at least get apprehended or, in trouble or fired or
right.
something. I don't know what happened. Uh, those two were kind of like, terrible. I don't remember any of the teachers I remember from Pat before fifth grade. Um, the rest have been pretty okay. Uh, yeah, I don't not many really strike me as like terrible like those two. High school was pretty. Um, I pretty much liked most of the teachers. I think there was one that was an English teacher that kind of was like a great teacher for me because I enjoyed the tutorial that they taught me, and but they had to leave. So that was kind of sad. But not really many were bad in my eyes when it comes to high school. They were all okay in their own way. But
Okay.
just had a couple of ones that were from middle school that just kind of give me some bad things, bad thoughts,
Yeah, fair enough. And
red flags. I
on the
mean,
opposite side, it's like were there teachers that really stood out to you in a good light?
oh, well, I shouldn't probably say his name, but I'm just gonna
No,
call him
don't.
Mr. B. Mr. B, who was a yeah, I think that's okay. Mr. B, he was my homeroom teacher in eighth grade, and also I think seventh. Um, I striked him as a pretty good teacher that tried his absolute hardest to make students, know the material and genuinely make sure that everyone is paying attention and all that kind of stuff. So, another one I definitely would say in high school was my math teacher who helped basically make everything easy for math. One of the reasons why I was so good at it is just because he made it easy for me. Same thing goes with the English teachers in there. I thought like three of them, which there was two. One of them was kind of about like culture, religion, and about like history in terms of English. So like talking about like folklore and stuff. And
Mhm.
also the other one, which was like my main English teacher that I knew. She helped me try to get into college and a lot of other ways to help me be successful. And I thought of her as like a great mentor towards that.
Nice.
I know that there was a science teacher too, which eventually the new one that came in, which the science teacher, I gotta say, in high school, at least the one that I came to, they kept losing their science teacher. They had to keep replacing one until eventually later on we finally got one that actually was willing to stick around. And even though I didn't really like science and I wasn't really like interested in the whole thing, I know that from what she was doing, she was trying, and she was trying to make it interesting to the people that find it interesting. Even though I just didn't really like the class or really anything about it, I just didn't really like it at all. She was good in my eyes. I had no problems with her. You know, she tried. So
Okay.
um, and the principal in high school fucking loved me because I was such a good student that I got my own chair outside the office dedicated towards me.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that was great. I could finally just stay the fuck away from all the students because I thought all of them were weird. Because that school was mainly for the bad students. But I went there anyway because I did my hardest. So yeah, it was
Nice.
the Miss K, which was the principal's first initial. Thank you a lot for helping me, upon that whole thing. She actually took us upon some movies for the honor roll class, which I was always in. I was in every single one of them, and we would just go to the movies as a celebration for the honor roll class. So
Nice.
we would go there for free. Just fucking awesome. We would watch some great movies.
Yeah, what were some of the movies you watched?
A lot of them were Marvel, and in the new Marvel movies, we would always go to them. I don't have any. I think there was. I don't know if it was. I don't know what it was. Uh, Most of them were Marvel. There was a couple of ones that weren't Marvel, but I don't remember the names. But I thought they were okay anyway. Like I just kind of just enjoyed the movies because you might as well try some other ones while you're busy. So
Okay.
I liked all the movies we watched though. So
I can't even remember like if I had teachers that I really disliked, but I remember that I was grateful for the teachers I had sometimes because in like parallel classes, like the classes next to us, apparently there was some teachers that were just really really strict, or there was one in particular. Apparently, the family of that woman, like the woman that is the teacher, was very military driven, and I'm not sure if she was in the military herself, but she had a son that she would kept talking about apparently that was in the or is in the military.
probably one of the
And
reasons
so she
why.
was like and that was, I guess, like she was inspired by like the strictness of the military and applied that in school, which no, it's not how school works. Because people just hated her. She was absolutely not liked in the school by no one. The I was lucky enough to like never encounter her, but yeah, it's just that was the reputation. Like everyone knew the name, and everyone did not like her.
Not a good idea to teach a class with strictness at all. That ruins
Yeah,
a lot of kids' inspiration.
I agree.
It doesn't matter the reason why you're doing it, it's still better to not do it at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just very draining, and it just honestly sometimes just kind of scares you, and just like prevents you from like focusing on the material. It's like, okay, wasn't that like not the goal?
Hmm.
Um, Here's my last question, and I think, yeah, we've been recording for probably like an hour now. Um, and it kind of is a little bit of a reference to our last episode where we were talking about music. But what kind of music were you listening to in school, like back in high school?
Same music I listen to today.
Is there like particular artists that changed
Nickelback
a
for
pair,
one.
maybe?
Three Doors Down, Daughtery, Linkin Park, Five Finger Death Punch,
Ooh, ooh,
um, 3 Days Grace. Trying to think of them on the top of my head. ACDC, Venge,
classic.
Venge Sevenfold. I forgot. I think that's how you're supposed to say that.
Yeah, that's it's a metal. It's like a early 2000s metalcore band.
Pink. I've been listening to her since freaking ever. Some Britney Spears. Uh, Katy Perry.
Nice. It's just like I'm
Um,
impressed you were able to like just list them all off.
there's some Ariana Grande. I know a couple of her songs. Fuck. Corn. I know there was someone there.
Ooh, corn. Okay. Oh shit. Like corn back then. I only discovered corn recently. I wish I had
I'm trying to
knew corn back then.
remember from my mind here, but there's a couple I can't remember. Oh, no, not Megadeth. Metallica. Uh,
Classic.
hmm. I'm trying.
A lot of like hard rock metal bands. That's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I don't have my.
Mhm.
I don't have my. Oh no, that's why, because it's on the floor. I don't have my USB plugged in, which has all my music on it. But that's ones I can think of on top of my head.
Right. I would listen to. I was kind of 50-50. I'd either listen to like metal or like electronic music. And that ranged from actual just like electronic dance music to straight up dubstep. Because back then, like 2000, 2010, when that started popping off, I remember like when then Destiny 1 came out, that like 2014, that was I had like a really really big dubstep phase. Um, I can't tell you any of the artist names anymore because it's been a while. Back then, I probably listened to a bunch of Disturbed, some punk with when it comes to bands like Rise
Oh yeah,
Against.
Disturbed. That's another one I know.
Yeah, that's a nice little alternative slash new metal band from like the 2000s. Would make sense that they'd be playing in your playlist back then.
Usually my dubstep would be MLP based.
I wasn't a brony back then yet.
I was since I was very young. Like those right as I became a teenager.
Um, Never listened to a lot of Metallica, still don't, but I probably should. uh,
Some good ones.
a Day to Remember. If someone knows that band, thank you. I like that band because I sort of listened to it a little bit in my teenage years because of a YouTube channel called Kidios. Kitty 0706 that made like a lot of like Gmod videos back then, and he'd play songs by the band in the intro and outro. Uh, Fucking good songs that always just made for a fun vibe. And
Probably got
nowadays,
copyrighted at this point. Usually
like
not a.
the podcast.
No, I just well, no, yeah, no, I just mean like the videos you're talking about. You got
Oh
playing the
yeah,
music in the beginning,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But
unless it's
um,
not longer than 10 seconds,
no, it's
30 seconds.
so I just kind of like how they went full circle a little bit. I used to listen to them back when I was a teenager, and the music by them was kind of youthful because the people, like the band, was very young. So the lyrics was always like, or not always, but sometimes it was like friendship based and like let's cherish our friendship and all that, and make some happy tunes. And now, like 10 years later, um, I'm practicing their songs because they're actually not like a metal song or like kind of easy core song that takes me like 3 billion years of experience to even start practicing it.
That's unrealistic
Um,
time. I don't even think the professionals have spent that long.
no, but it
If
is a
so, then
hyper.
fucking hell, they're fucking old.
No, it's definitely hyperbole. But I just like how they came back from my youth to even like the young adulthood. I still think their songs are bops, and now I'm playing some of them myself.
Remember to make your own songs, though.
Yeah, but that requires music theory, and that
Who
I
says
don't know.
anything
I
about
might
music theory? What the fuck?
I it's really hard to make your own song without music theory. You kind of need to know at least the basics and a bit
Then
of
how the
advanced
fuck are
stuff
you
on
gonna
music
become
theory.
a great musician? A musician, not a what? How the fuck are you gonna?
Well, I was
You need to like make your own songs sometimes, dude.
I,
That's how you
I
get better.
tried with like a prototype one like recently, but um yeah, I'm kind of still lacking between transitions. I don't really know how to make good transitions between like the song structures, and I don't know, for like my first goal before even like writing music is getting good at guitar and like get good. It's like get familiar and like learn the quirks of like the guitar before I start writing with it. I want to make sure I know what I'm dealing with, right? Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So that's why I kind of put music theory on the back for now, anyways.
I mean, I guess that's the same when it comes to like usually if you're improving with making that kind of thing because I had to do that a lot whenever it comes to when I used to be in music class. I always had to do that. Back in music class, we had when it comes to the recorder, we would do she would always give us the sheet, and we have to memorize how to play the notes, of course, that have been present. We had to like be able to read it, and she would give us currently known songs that are popular, and we would have to you know use the instrument to play it so that we can get better and understand how to use the instrument and know how to read the music notes. Because how the hell are you gonna be able to make your fucking songs if you don't know how to read music,
Oh, there's
which
this
is its own
thing that,
language? So
yeah, right. So there's a hindrance, and it's called guitar tabs. It kind of lets you know what you as a guitarist have to play without having to learn like the music notations. Which is not to say that you shouldn't learn. I just kind of have to at some point. I'm getting familiar with them bit by bit. Um, but yeah, I'm not. I'm absolutely not in a rush. I just wanna like. I wanna make sure I get enough time like practicing and getting good at everything before I even start thinking about writing my own music.
Takes time.
It does, which
Just
is
like
why
writing.
yeah, which is why I don't pressure myself into like getting everything done now.
It's like a skill, basically. How everybody gets good. It's a skill.
Yep.
Practice. Practice, shithead. Do it. I need water.
I think I think that's an episode, right?
It's. I don't know. Is it? It's an hour
Like
and four.
I think we got like an episode.
It's an hour and four. So
Yeah.
actually a little bit long. It's actually an hour and six because I recorded a segment, but that's fine. Okay. Anything else? Like very simple stuff you want to say before we begin, or at the end of the video, or
Um no, not really. I asked all my questions. The last thing I could think of is just saying thank you again for having me on here.
okay. Of course, you're welcome. It's a free world.
Yay.
It's a free America.
Even though I'm not American.
No, you're part of NATO, so that kind of matters somewhat.
We're kind of America now, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's like 32 countries right now. It includes Finland and Sweden eventually. So congrats to those guys eventually someday. I don't know when, but
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, we are like every country within NATO is just America now.
uh just no, you're just part of NATO restrictions, airspace thingy, something. You're protected by America, was what I'm trying to say,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
which is good because we don't have
Yes.
to worry about those faggots on the other side of the world. Those stupidly bad people, bad leaders.
Yep.
So congrats for being part of NATO and being part of an American show that is definitely not being funded because I can't fund for shit. So yeah,
That's okay, because it's way more interesting that way anyway, I think, personally.
fuck money. What has money done for me, huh? Other than make my life miserable. What has it done for you? Has it made your life miserable, or has it made it good?
No, it's made it miserable because capitalism is being shitty to us right now.
You hear that, Elon Musk?
Oh no. Is he doesn't like capital? No.
No, he's just very sensitive. That's the reason why he's banning people who are impersonating, because people were doing that. Ha ha ha. Apparently, impersonation is against free speech.
I guess depends on like what degree you're impersonating someone.
What if I just name myself? What if I am Elon Musk? Call me Elon
Elon
Musk for the
Musk.
future of these episodes, guys. I am the
No.
future Elon Musk. But instead of me being a normal guy, I'm actually a brony. So I'm a pony secretly
Which
behind
makes
the.
it even better.
Yes, because I am not a
On the
human.
internet, on the internet, no one knows that you're a pony.
Who even am I? Who are you?
Who am I? Oh god, who are we? Existential crisis at the
Oh
end of an
God,
episode?
who's the
No.
Dirk?
He's
Am I
probably
even
chilling.
part of this society? Who am I? What is my name? Am I 20 or am I 23? I don't know. 23 is a good number.
Oh,
Actually, there's actually oh my God, that just reminded me of something we should talk about in terms of mind as well later about age. something that distractible. There's an episode of Distractible. It just reminded me of a very just insane thought to think about when it comes to age and memory. So that's something we're gonna keep that in mind for later.
Fair enough.
I wonder when it's a good day to record an episode like that. Should we do it on Thanksgiving or should we do it in December? I don't know. Maybe in January 1st when the new year comes around. Then we talk about the years, how the brain affects us. Actually, that doesn't
It's
fit
actually
right.
probably a pretty cool idea, though.
We should talk about maybe January 1st should be like a day when we talk about like all of our time with a new year or something. I don't know. We'll think about it. That's like
Ye
how long now? Like two
a
months?
month and a half,
Yeah,
sort of.
a half. Not even a halfway. November. You mean a quarter?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can scroll through my fucking. I can scroll through my calendar and I can go through the months? What? I don't know about this. I just discovered that. I just started scrolling through my this fucking calendar and it started to scroll. What the hell? Okay. I didn't even know that was possible. Um, something you learn something new you learn every day. I can't speak. I'm sorry. Um,
It's okay. I can't either.
so anyway, thank you guys all for not watching this episode because we're secretly from another world, so we don't actually exist. You guys are just watching something that was created on a fictional world. So we're actually fictional. We don't
Yes,
exist.
and we're ponies.
Yeah, secretly. Hee hee hee. Um, Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember to not subscribe, or else if you do, Discord will break through this reality and will kill everyone. Well, actually, he doesn't kill. He just likes to torture you. So don't do that, please. Okay, I've already had to deal with him like 3 times by now, and I really don't want to have to deal with him again. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Remember to support me on Twitter. That would be great because I really need it. I'm really lonely. Please, please do it.
Aww.
Um, and also, I am recruiting people. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I am recruiting people. So if you are interested in helping me with art, or that's of website design slash dealing with servers, or being an editor on writing, or even anything else that you might be interested in, go to the website, john.enterprises. I'd love to see if anything that is currently available interests you. DM me on Twitter. That'd be great to know if anyone's interested. Because I really need help. Can't do this shit alone. Thank you guys all. And we will see you guys in episode we should remember by now, episode 17. So yeah,
Hmm.
we don't have a topic yet, but just know it's episode
We'll
17.
come up with one.
Well, yeah. See you guys all later, I guess. Um,
See ya.
I don't have a way to exit this. Oh god. Help. Help me.